evening, treasure seekers. This is Blake coming to you live from New Mexico, and joining me as always from Washington State, it's Bryn and Cody. How's it going, guys?
Hi.
It's going good.
Happy week of Thanksgiving, everyone.
I think I'm backwards than I usually am in the video, at least to me. Gonna throw me off a little bit, I think.
Oh, you mean like the configuration of our squares?
Yeah, no, just like my picture maybe is mirror imaged. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Anyway, my bad. How's it going?
You look the same to us.
You look the same to me.
Interesting. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Yeah, I got a new computer. That was a mistake. Ooh. Trying to get this all set up again on a new computer. Losing my access to my Adobe Digital Editions version of the ebooks. It's quite disastrous. So I'm still trying to remedy that. But
big oof.
I know. My bad. How's it going for you guys?
Good. It's been a very busy last few days. Neither Bryn or I are very big nap people, and we have both napped this weekend.
Oh,
it's been yeah. Gotta catch
out
up on
necessity.
some sleep after. Yeah, out of necessity. So we're running on fumes, but we're feeling a little bit better now.
Good. Well, hopefully you can make it through the episode and catch up with a Thanksgiving feast later this week.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember if this was since our last episode. Maybe it was. I don't know. Since the last time we recorded, I did go boots on the ground, not for there's treasure inside, but I had a little boots on the ground excursion for a local treasure hunt where Cody and I are. There's a guy who does like social media hunts once in a while, and he released some clues that the three of us were working on, and then we were pretty puzzled by them. And then later that night, like literally the same night, he released some clues that were much more maybe obvious as to where he had.
They were giveaways.
And so Cody and I were looking at it. It was probably like 11 o'clock at night. And we're like, okay, we know exactly where it is. So I set my alarm for, I think it was like 6 a.m.
Wow.
And went out there first thing. I was the first one right as the sun came up. Well, not even the sun coming up, just light enough to see. I like rip off the side of the road, park, and I'm like looking through all these bushes. And I was probably looking for 15 minutes. And all of a sudden I hear this car just peel out through the gravel to park behind me. And this guy starts looking for the treasure too, and he wouldn't acknowledge me.
Really?
I was like trying to make eye contact to like say, "Oh, hello. I think like we're looking for the same thing. Haha, this is fun."
How close was he?
I mean, less than 50 yards.
Oh, okay. It's not like walking right next to you.
No.
So what they did is, I think the idea was they wanted the hunt to end in like a day. It's not the kind of thing where they wanted it to go a long time. But they released these initial clues that in hindsight were just like way too hard. That's like completely miscalibrated. Like no one would have ever found it. It could be like in your own backyard and you wouldn't recognize it. They like took photos and like altered them in Photoshop, but just way too much. So it's just like no chance. And then their like second round of clues, which I don't think they were even prepared to do, just was like, here's the unaltered photos we took. So just like photos in the city. It's like, yeah, we all know where this is. So there was no like happy medium. It went from no chance you'll find it to, okay, here's where it is. If you've been anywhere around here, you know exactly where it is. And so I think that's why the other people searching were right in the same area at that point.
Yeah, so I was looking around and then I could hear some people like and then below me, like on a road below me, I don't see it here. So there's just like more and more people coming out of the woodwork looking for this treasure. I just ran out of time. I thought like I looked pretty thoroughly anywhere that it could have been hidden. So I had to give up and get home. But then later that day, we found out that it had been found, and they showed pictures of like the finder took when they found the box, and it was dark. So I think the person who found it the night before, like when those pictures were released, they went out at night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How close?
Or I mean,
how close did you get? Because it was like pretty close to that power pole, I believe.
yeah. I mean, that's right where I was.
Okay.
And so I think it was like at the base of that pole, and I think I was at the exact spot. It was just unfortunately too late.
Ooh.
Well, I missed out on a few $100 of coins.
Well, hopefully we're more lucky with the Pokemon box.
I know. I'm saving up my luck for the big one. But it was fun. It was fun to like have the urgency to get out there and look around and feel like there is the possibility of finding something tangible. So that was exhilarating. One other little bit of banter news here. Blake sent Cody and I an Exit brand escape room advent calendar. And I think you got the same one too, Blake?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that through the month of December. And so I thought it could be fun to announce that here in case anybody wants to do it along with us. So it's the Exit escape room brand. And the specific advent calendar we're doing this year is the Intergalactic Race.
Yes.
I really like that there'll be 24 different puzzles. And I think in the back of my mind for all the 24 different puzzles, I'm be thinking, is there any way that we could implement the same puzzle design system to any of the boxes for TTI?
That's right. It will be good mixture of puzzles to think about. Jon Collins-Black advocates for doing escape rooms, and he said he's done some of the at-home ones before with our interviews. So that's very good.
Yeah, and I can't remember which interview it was, but more recently, someone was asking them, like, I don't think it was our interview, but like, what can you do to kind of think about things a different way or whatever? And he recommended the escape room as one idea. So with the 24 little mini games, it could be just a good little change in perspective.
Yes, I cannot wait for you guys not to solve one. And then I can send you the picture of the beginner listed on the box.
I think they're all beginner, aren't they? There's always a couple of days that are super tricky.
Yeah. There's never not an intermediate or advanced one that they've released so far. So looking forward to that.
I think this is our third or fourth year in a row doing it. We always try and see how many days we can go before we have to look at the hint book that's included with it.
Yeah, they're fun. Highly recommend.
All right. We dive into news / not really news. Bryn, do you mind starting? And then I'll do mine after.
Yeah, so I put this in the news section. It's not really news, but I didn't know where else to put it. So I stumbled upon the picture of the Art Smith brooch on page 58 as I was looking up a mailbag that we'll get to in the mailbag section. But anyways, I was looking at this brooch on page 58, if you want to pull up the image, Blake.
Sure.
And a couple things jumped out at me. First was that he misspelled brooch in the caption, which, I mean, I guess I'm still looking at my first edition, so I haven't confirmed if that's been updated. But he spells it BROACH, and a brooch is like
broach
O's,
a topic.
Right? Brooch.
Yeah.
A brooch. Yeah. So the brooch he uses like to broach a topic. But what really caught my eye when I just was glancing at this picture, I'm trying to be more diligent at like really looking at what is being shown in these pictures.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at these three circles, or I guess kind of all of them, the reflection that's in these, I don't even know what to call them other than like spheres.
Baubles.
Doesn't that look like a moon coming up over the mountains?
Oh, interesting.
I totally thought you were going to go a different route on that.
With this little like lettering thing, Cody, that's kind of what caught my eye.
Well, then I saw this X. Too. It looks like an X marks the spot on the mountains. But I thought this looks like the moon in the perfect little valley of the mountains, which aligns with like the Hopi having the moon rise and fall at certain points in the San Francisco peaks, right?
Yeah, interesting.
And so I don't know if it's weird, like, does it make sense that this reflection would be the same in these 3 balls? Or is this a Jon Collins-Black Photoshop?
I don't know, because like certainly this ball here and the second ball from the left, well, is it in a different position? I guess it's fairly similar, but a little bit more sharp just because it's smaller. But it looks like the way these lay out, it looks pretty realistic. Like that's not a Photoshop, in my opinion. Matthew Hobbies on the case.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't. I'm trying to picture like what would that have been reflecting? Because it's, I mean, the light, you can see the light off the top. Like it's not the light.
Interesting.
It could be something like an overhead. Anyways.
Okay. Well, we need to track down if there's another image of this brooch.
Yeah,
that's super interesting.
Point. But as soon as I saw that, I thought I can't unsee it. So when you first showed this picture, I was like, ooh, it looks like there's a little bit of writing in that reflection. But that's not, when you zoom in, it's like, not much. I mean, I think that kind of looks like an X.
It does. Cody, what did you see?
The first thing I was wondering is if the ratio of shaded area to light area kind of lined up with that Katsina non-Katsina calendar.
Oh, interesting.
But it does not. It's much narrower.
Yeah, too big of non-Katsina season.
Mm-hmm. Unless it was pointing to like 3 specific months in that calendar, but that's probably a little too much of a stretch.
That's super interesting.
I don't know.
Great.
I feel like those lines of what I'm calling the mountains feel too crisp and defined to be coincidental.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw it out there for the community to either run with, provide some feedback on, or you can shoot it down.
Yeah, I'd be curious of a photographer's perspective, I suppose.
Yeah.
Of photography and lighting of these circles. But you're right that like there is a main glare, it seems like, from the main light source, and then where does this come from?
Yeah, I definitely thought it was a lighting thing, just first glance. But the more we look at it, the more it looks like it's a actual color on the brooch or Photoshop, but not lighting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Like it's a moon in the mountains.
Yeah, I like your interpretation of that. I'm just still trying to wrap my head around what could have caused this naturally.
Yeah. That's good.
So everybody in the audio version. What page is this on, Bryn?
Page 58.
In the Art Smith chapter. Okay, very good. A little bit different activity for us today, if that's all right.
Ooh. Yes.
There's a quiz. Do you guys feel comfortable taking a quiz live on the show?
Oh, no.
Is it like a how well do we know the book quiz?
Yep.
Or is it oh, really? Live on the show?
You don't have to do it if you don't want to.
There's
I'm
so much.
Scared.
There's so much information to know. I feel like I know a million things about the book, but there's just always something. It's going to be something that seems so obvious to everyone else. I'm going to miss and be embarrassed.
It's okay. We can do it. We can do it.
And do you guys want to do it as a team?
Yes.
Have you not seen it yet?
I've done it. I'm curious.
Who created this quiz?
So this is a quiz that was created by one of my favorites. Not my YouTube crush, but my Substack crush, Dr. R Squared. So he released a quiz on his Substack probably about a week and a half ago, I would say, maybe 2 weeks ago at this point. And I was hoping you guys wouldn't see it so you could do it live on the air.
Oh boy.
So it's
so we have no idea
random
if it's
facts.
Super hard or super not hard.
I know that it's very hard.
Oh, is it very hard?
Yes.
Well, that makes me feel better, actually, than if it was just...
I got 3rd place overall on the leaderboard, so we'll see if you guys can beat that.
Oh, so we have to
tied
do it.
for
so
3rd.
It's just Bryn and I is what's happening here.
Yes. All right.
Is it an open book test?
It's definitely not an open book test. That's what makes it challenging.
Oh, okay. This is super hard. Especially with like, I've been very focused on Pokemon Box.
Yeah.
The name of the person, it was someone from oh my gosh. We were saying something wrong and it was upsetting people.
So yeah, if people want to take this along with us, I'll give the answers at the end too, and you can get your score. Every question is worth 2 points. Question 1, and I think when I did it, the order of the questions might have been different. So I don't know if you randomized it or not, but what is the name of the person who provided the faience beads to the author? First and last name as provided by the book.
I can't tell you the name.
Did you get it right?
No, of course not. That's so hard. We'll just say John Doe because we don't know.
Perfect.
And I even took this quiz and I still don't remember the name. The name of what state is fully written out in the Forest Fen chapter? Question 2.
Oh, he misspoke on one, right? He said
Yeah, he called it Santa Fe, Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
My guess would be he's going to spell out New Mexico, talking about Forest Fen as the as being a resident of New Mexico. It's going to come up more frequently. So I imagine that if he only spelled one of them out, probably was New Mexico, talking about Forest Fen. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I like that better than Arizona because.
No, I know it wasn't Arizona because remember that just
because
being
it was
hazy.
The letters. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do New Mexico.
It would be one of the 4 states. I'm sure. Oh gosh, now I'm second guessing myself.
Oh,
what if it's
boy.
what if it's just a random state that's none of the above?
How many states does the Appalachian Trail pass through? Question 3.
I want to say 12. That's my gut is 12.
Actually, okay, so I just recently skimmed the entire Appalachian Trail on Google Maps. So I'm trying to think. Ooh, also, let's do a classic TTI question. What does it mean to pass through? If it goes into it and terminates, does it pass through that state?
Yes.
Yeah. 12 might be too aggressive because I'm thinking of all the small states up north, but the trail doesn't like cut through those necessarily. I think 12's too many.
Ooh, you think it's too many?
Yeah, because it goes all the way up to Maine, right?
Everyone remember where we live. We live in Washington, I think very infrequently about the East Coast and how all those states line up.
All right.
Yeah, I think 12's, it's got to be close to 12.
Okay, let's just
seems right.
Don't worry.
I'm still thinking about the Forest Fen one, and if he says like when I was in Texas and then never references, it's got to be New Mexico, right?
You got some of these right, Blake?
Yeah, I don't know why they're all so hard at the beginning here. There's some ones you'll get. Don't worry. How many Picasso pendant designs were produced according to the book?
I can't even tell you a ballpark.
6.
All right.
I feel like, why are you doing this to us? You're just like, we're just.
Because I thought it was fun to take the quiz.
It is fun. It is fun.
So
okay,
hard.
let's. This is gettable. This is gettable.
We can do this one.
Which of the following titles are, or are not mentioned in Chapter 26, the Past and Future box?
Past and Future box.
So which one of these are not mentioned? Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Dungeons and Dragons, Zork. So this is a checkbox, so there can be more than one.
Oh,
yeah,
the Goonies
hold your horses.
The Goonies and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Okay. Zork, Adventure, Pac-Man, Back to the Future.
Oh, no, Back to the Future, no.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yes.
Ready Player One.
It was a Monty Python. Was it the Holy Grail?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not overthinking it. And Zork was definitely in there. We didn't just get that from Adventure, right?
Zork was in there.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Now back to the impossible questions. What is the name of the meteorite that landed on a doghouse in a small village in Costa Rica?
Wasn't it like a scientific name?
Yeah.
How's the expectation? And you know that the website's coded, so you have to like spell it perfectly too. It's not going to like accept something closed.
He tried to program it so it accept different capitalizations and things, but not misspellings, unfortunately.
Good.
So
okay. This was also named John Doe.
All right. What is the name of the city in the journal type heading in Chapter 11, Treasures from a Famous Shipwreck?
This one feels doable, but I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, I did get this one. I was very happy with myself.
You got that one?
Wow.
Yes. Papello.
Yeah, what is the
It's in
name
Brazil.
of the city?
It's in Brazil.
The name of the city in the
Brazil or Argentina.
I'm gonna know it when you hear it, it's gonna be like, oh yeah. But I can't tell you. Yes.
Montevideo.
Oh yeah.
Right. Which of the museums is not mentioned in the book as having a similar or matching counterpart? Is it the Carnegie Museum, the Mount Vernon Museum, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, or the Museum of Modern Art?
I think the Museum of Modern Art.
All right.
Yeah, go with it.
Right. How many two yet new yet rings are shown in the book that are not in chapter 2? Bryn, you've been looking at this recently, so you might be able to get this.
Where else would they be in the book? How many two yet new yet rings are shown in the book that are not in chapter 2? They must just be the ones then in our additional treasures, right? But there was a handful of them. 3?
3 rings.
Do you have any?
I have no idea.
You're leading right into the next question. What is the name of the section of the book that shows additional treasure items outside of the part 1 and part 2 chapters?
Oh no.
Some more of our treasure items. Some more of our treasure items. Does that sound right?
More of our treasure. I would have expected. I would have thought it was like fewer words.
Some more.
I like it. Stick with. If that's your gut, let's stick with it.
I'm overthinking it, but I thought it was something that was a little bit clunky, like that.
Some more items of our treasure. Some more.
No.
Stick with it. Stick with it.
Yeah, let's stick with it.
What is the name of the town to where inspiration for the puzzle box design is attributed?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All I can think of is Pokemon worlds, Pokemon cities.
What is the name of the town? This is one where I think once I heard it, like if it was multiple choice, I think I'd get this one.
Yeah, I think so too. This is very difficult off the cuff, though.
Does it even start with a K? Like I'm thinking Kalos, Kanto. Oh my gosh.
This is. If you asked me this 10 months ago, I would have known. But I think that's the last time.
Right.
Oh, was in the town.
I did not get this one. But I knew it started with an H.
Oh.
Oh man.
I guessed Hokkaido and that was wrong.
Doesn't feel right.
Yeah. We'll move on. What single word sentence is in the penultimate paragraph of chapter 27? The Appalachian Footpath Box.
Single word sentence.
I think I can get this. A single word sentence.
All I can think of right now is in the dozen trivia, I know. Chubba Hubbard. She just straight up cheats and acts like she's not Googling it.
That's why this is not an open book test.
This one's going to bother me, and I want time to think about it, but
Okay.
there's nothing.
We can
There's
come
nothing
back
interesting about a podcast where I just sit here and think.
What is the name on this Pokemon card? So this is a visual one.
So that's the shadowless Charizard, right? Does it have more of a name to it?
Shining Charizard.
Shining.
I guess Shining Charizard.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'm a big Pokemon box guy, so if you have any other Pokemon questions, feel free to ask me.
Yeah, shadowless wouldn't be the name.
How many items created by Charles Laloma are explicitly stated / shown to be part of the collective treasure? How many Charles Laloma treasures are in There's Treasure Inside?
2?
Maybe. Anyway, Dr. R Squared's introduction to this quiz thought it was going to be too easy, just like Jon Collins-Black. No. Yes.
Oh, come on. How many did you get right to get third place?
8 out of 20.
What?
Wow.
Who is your final
Whoever got
answer?
more than you cheated.
I don't know. There's people that have pretty good memories and have probably read the book more times than I have.
Yeah.
So
if you told me someone got 8, I'd be like, I don't know about that.
Okay, this one you can
maybe
do.
Some of these get easier.
Which of these chapters contains an illustration
3
presumably made by the author?
What's the Art Smith chapter?
Art Smith is
5?
Let me check the table of contents here. Art Smith is 5.
I don't know if that's
you can't. That's not allowed for the test. You just have to know.
Okay.
So I would say 5 because the Art Smith is the dancing people, right?
And this is a checkbox one, so there could be more than one.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Then I don't know.
One's got the Scotty Star Trek, which is not, but made by him. And were there any other ones in that one?
I don't think there's any illustrations in that one.
Chapter 2.
Let's go.
Who is the 100 Rings of Tuyet Nuyet?
Those were all pictures. 3 is the Japanese puzzle box picture.
That's right.
I don't think there were any in there. 4. I want to say 5 and 7, and at this point, I'm mostly just
7.
Mostly just taking stabs at it.
7 is Amelia's autograph.
Okay, then yes.
Yeah, so that had the plain drawing.
Chapter 4 is the 96 karat Chivor Emerald.
So then yes.
On Chivor Emerald?
The green image, right? The illustration of the hikers.
Oh, them going into the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that would be presumably by the author.
Did you not watch Matthew's Hobbies video this week? 6 is Rubies to Wear.
So that had the ring or the wing earrings. I don't think Rubies to Wear had a illustration.
Ooh, Bryn. This was one I thought you might get. I did not get it. What is the name of the child pictured with Jackie Onassis in chapter 10?
I remember I did something like a horseshoes and hand grenades about this.
Yeah, that's why I thought you might be able to get it.
That is digging deep.
Oh boy.
I don't know. I want to say like Sunny or something like that, and it's not right. I don't know what the girl. It was a little girl. What's that, Cody?
That's me reading the next one.
Oh yeah, this one's for Cody. What the Viking myth of whom is referred to near the very end of the book?
Andvari.
Andvari. I don't know how to spell that. Does that look right?
That's how I would have spelled it. Yeah.
Okay. Who is the author? Full name is printed of There's Treasure Inside.
Is this a trap?
No. This is
Jon
what
Collins-Black hyphen black.
All right, very good.
Ooh.
How many
Keep
I wish that was a
people from
start.
getting zeros.
I know. I feel like that was the first question. I don't know if that's why I thought this was randomized for some reason. How many items from the Forrest Fenn original treasure hunt are said to be in TTI's treasure?
It's either 3 or 4. It's either 3 or 4, I think. Because it's the olive jar.
The big gold nugget.
Alaskan gold nugget. There's a gold necklace. And there's might be one more. Oh, is there one more? It's either 3 or 4. Is there one more thing?
I feel like there's got to be one more thing. My gut saying 4.
My gut saying 4 too.
Okay.
And I remember 3 of them, but I feel like there was another one.
This is another picture one, and your final question. So sorry for the torture, everybody. In what number chapter is this treasure item featured? It's a green gemstone of some sort.
So would that have been in chapter 4?
What do you think, Cody?
Yeah, let's go with 4. I'm still trying to think of that.
You want to go back to...
Yeah, the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, what
single
word sentence in the penultimate paragraph?
It's going to drive me nuts.
You weren't going back to the name of the meteorite that landed on a doghouse?
I was not.
I mean, what was it? Is it like ready or look? Rainbow, circle, map.
All right.
I know it's going to drive me nuts, but I know that we can't just keep recording dead air while I think.
All right. We're going to submit, see how you guys did.
No.
We're going to be like in last place.
View score. Oh. You guys got 18 points. That means you got 9. That's pretty good.
Well, that doesn't seem...
So here, the name of the person who provided the Faience beads to the author was Alan Anawanti.
Never in a million years.
Impossible.
It wasn't New Mexico, it was freaking California. Are you
California was the name that is fully written out, the state that is fully written out in the Forrest Fenn chapter.
Oh my gosh.
The answer for the Appalachian Trail the number of states that the Appalachian Trail passes through is 14.
Happy with that.
12 is a respectable guess.
It's pretty close. Pretty close. 24 Picasso pendant designs.
Oh no.
You got the past and future box question correct. Very good. Very good. Very excellent, as I would say. You did not remember that the name of the meteorite that landed on the doghouse was Agurus Zarkas. Impossible. Montevideo, I gave you that one. So that would have been... you guys would have tied with me, actually.
Which ones did we get right?
The Museum of Modern Art is the answer. And actually, I don't remember if that's... There was a problem with this question that it's one of these. And I think he fixed it. Well, I think the Metropolitan Museum of Art is actually correct. But we'll go back and look. How many Tuyet rings... Oh, the correct answer.
I think it's correct then.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Tuyet Nuyet rings. There are 3 of them. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
And this one, I definitely did not get this.
Wow.
Some more of our treasure items.
I got 100% on this test just for getting that word for word.
I'm super impressed. And there's no alternate answers for that, so you had to get it exactly right.
I feel so good about that.
Hakone is the name of the town where the inspiration for the puzzle box is attributed.
So that actually drives me nuts because I have on my phone this one kind of like catch-all notes app, like note page, where I've got like every note over the last year that I kind of jot down there and then move the relevant ones over to like other specific notes.
Right.
And the giant bold title, when you go to click on that, is Hakone. because it was the first note I ever took on there. And I see that thing probably 3 times a day. And I don't know how I didn't get that.
No. Perhaps is the single word sentence in the penultimate chapter of the Appalachian Trail box. You got Shining Charizard correct. There are 3 Charles Loma items, not 2, unfortunately. Close.
Yeah.
You did select the chapters that...
You helped us out with that.
I did help with you out, yes. What is the name of the child pictured with Jackie Onassis? Caroline Kennedy. Close. Sunny. And Vari is the Viking myth that you got correct.
Did you get that one?
Yes, I did get that one.
Nice.
I also got Jon Collins-Black correct. Look at you guys. I did not get that one. How many items from the Forest Fen original treasure hunt are said to be in TTI's treasure? That is 4.
Yeah.
And this is one
I got.
This is one that I did get. This is Tanzanite. So it's in the Tanzanite chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew that was chapter 20?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's the picture of the guy flying in the air that you guys helped me realize is just the guy diving out of the way of the charging bull. All right. You guys really survived the quiz.
More of our treasure items.
Yes, that is super impressive. So yeah, here's the leaderboard that he posted a few days ago. You can see somebody got 24 out of 40, which is 12 questions correct, was the top score.
That's really impressive.
That's pretty good.
All right. Super fun. Thank you guys for participating.
Yeah, thank you for being our...
fun to listen to.
So yeah, what did Dr. R Square say here? Oh, there's the answer key. So he said, I also had the answer to a question wrong. The Metropolitan Museum of Art is mentioned, not the Museum of Modern Art.
Yeah.
So I think
we got that one right.
You did get that one right. So you actually got a 20 out of 40 or a 10 out of 20.
Nice.
Yeah. So very good. He had some commentary elsewhere about this, but we'll get back to that later. All right.
That was fun.
Yes.
That was fun.
Cody.
It's stressful.
I think
if we took that quiz again next week, I'd get like 24.
Yeah.
Some of those I've already forgotten. The name of the meteorite I've already forgotten.
All right. Cody, I think you have a what's more likely.
Yeah.
What's more likely?
I was gonna say, do you want to do it now or skip it and do it next week? Because it'll be a little long too, and I think we've got a lot on the agenda, and the quiz took a while.
Yeah, we can skip it. We'll come back to a what's more likely next week. Let us dive into horseshoes and hand grenades instead. And this one will be pretty quick. Don't worry. It's a past and future box. Horseshoes and hand grenades today. Been looking at the word OASIS in the past and future box. First mention of this importance or idea that I liked was actually from K-Pro. She had mentioned that the word OASIS, when it appears in the past and future box, only appears in a space in the paragraph that overlays with the past or the word search, which I thought was an interesting artifact. And people have pointed out that OASIS is mentioned 9 times in that chapter in those couple of paragraphs, and the fact that they're only overlapping with the word search kind of piqued my interest. So I attempted to do some overlays and things like that. So I'll show you some of my madness here.
Yeah, I'd say it's also interesting that O's are used as kind of those spacers in the grid.
100%.
The word search grid.
100%.
OASIS is very forward.
Absolutely. I've done a lot of work with using those 19 O's as like a grill cipher where you cut out the word search, cut out the O's, the 19 O's that are left over, and then like trying to overlay it over different sections of the chapter to see if it spells out anything with minimal success. Anyway, I did something similar here, took an overlay, a little piece of laminate, and then took my little ink pens and drew where all the O's were, and then I connected them with dots just for fun. And then took that overlay and tried to find where it might overlay with the word search appropriately. And I can kind of run into the same exact problem that I did with the Grill cipher, in that the line spacing of the paragraph is like 1.5x the spacing of the word search. So in order to even get something that overlays like appropriately, you have to turn everything 45 degrees. At least that's what I had to do with the Grill cipher. And so there's actually very few orientations that you could fit this pattern of O's from the OASIS words in the previous page that actually fit within the grid of the word search. So this is one such orientation where I tried to do my best to overlay the dots on letters, and you can still see it's like pretty imperfect. So I'm still messing around a little bit with different orientations and mirror images and things like that, but I don't think this is a solution, which is why it's in Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. However, the shape of this object is kind of interesting in that the past and future box is now in Arkansas.
Well, I was going to say, anytime that I do a potential solve that outputs a shape like that, I like to clean it up as much as possible and throw it back in like Google image reverse search.
Oh,
so that might be something worth doing with this shape that connects all the oases, just to see if it pops anything up. Maybe like a county or something could look like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you're bought into the top secret O's message potentially from the word search, right? It's like, I don't know. I can make the logical leap that OASIS is very prominent. It's opposite of the word search. Are those the top secret O's that you're supposed to be using for that message? Anyway, so I'm still a little bit bought into seeing if other people have solutions to what those OASIS are used for in the other part of the text of the past and future box. But anyway, I thought it was a fun little exercise. I like the tactile nature of the trying to overlay the coin on the word search that I've done before. So this brought back some good memories.
You just love laminates.
I do.
I wonder, is there something like when we think about, I really like the fact that the OASIS words are mirrored onto the word search. Mm-hmm. But it seems like we've only been looking at the O's, which makes sense because we have the kind of mysterious O's in the word search. But like if we look at the other letters too, like is there something that could be helpful with like finding the I's or the S's in the word search?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the main problem I'll reiterate is if you were to just sandwich the pages together, right? The spacing of the lines literally doesn't line up correctly with the word search grid. If that were not the case, I would have a little bit more faith in that approach. But just because of the shenanigans of having to turn it 45 degrees to get the line spacing of the word search and the paragraphs to line up, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, hopefully I don't know if other people have tried similar approaches and found anything interesting. I'd be interested to hear, or if this inspires you to look at the OASIS in a different light. Happy to hear all opinions.
Or if anyone has a chance to check out Arkansas.
Or if anyone wants to go to Arkansas. Not the Pokemon box, it's the past and future box. All right, should we do mailbag?
Mailbag. We've got mail.
Bryn.
Okay. I've got some mailbags. The mailbag has delivered.
Nice.
I tried to get caught up in some mailbags, so I have quite a few I'm only going to do, I don't know, 4 today? 5? Anyways, we'll start with Mike. Mike sent us an email about the ring image on page 36. He said, I know you guys like golden rings as a metaphor, and I know you like missing information as a clue. Well, I've noticed that there is some missing information on a picture of a golden ring on page 36. Specifically, it's missing a chunk of the ring at the bottom. Attached is a picture of a very similar, nearly identical, in fact, Champa jewelry. And notice that they're all full rings, unlike the picture on 36. This whole time I thought this one ring was not a complete circle, but now it seems obvious that it is. And I'm in complete agreement with Mike, because when you pull up this image here, it's like, to me, the bottom of the ring is just like blatantly photoshopped out.
So this is the ring he's talking about as being a complete circle. This is this a picture from There's Treasure Inside from some of our additional treasure items, or is this this is a similar ring that he's saying, which is a full circle?
That's actually a good question.
Okay.
Yeah, let me look through chapter 2.
But
Yeah, so those are all like face on images.
Yeah, I mean, I think
And
that's a picture of the same ring is what it looks like to me.
Definitely looks like it.
But
that was when I looked online. Yeah. So anyways, this is then the picture from the book on page 36. And like, doesn't it just look like the bottom of that ring is just straight up cut out, like straight?
I have looked at this a bit closer. I think it's just in some sort of felt ring holder, in my opinion. I mean, if you zoom in on this and look a bit closer, like, to me, it looks like there's some little felt hairs sticking out from the sides of that it's not necessarily a clean Photoshop cut. But yeah, Cody's looking at the book right now, so I'd be curious of his opinion on that. I think it's just a jewelry holder, personally.
But if you're taking that detailed of a picture of a ring like this, you're really gonna take it in a holder where you're like compromising the artistic integrity of the piece?
Yes.
Because there's no reason why the angle of this needs to be taken you would just lay it flat and take the picture of it and have the whole ring.
Maybe.
I agree with both of you. I agree that I think it's in felt. I agree that when you really look closely at where the ring cuts off at the bottom, you can see like the little strands, the little fibers.
That's janky JCB Photoshop. Those strands are a little too...
No, janky Photoshop is Microsoft Paint, where it's a perfectly straight line.
Yeah.
If it was perfectly straight, I'd be on board that he's cutting something out.
Right.
So I agree that it's in some sort of holder, and I also agree that it doesn't make sense why he would choose to do that, because he shows other complete rings, and then on this one like full page gonna show off this one specific ring in super close detail, he decides to keep it in a holder for that one when all the other ones he showed like the complete ring. I think it's a weird choice, but I think it is in a felt holder, not photoshopped out. And it's another instance where if it was photoshopped out and it was obvious that he photoshopped it, it's like, what do you do with that information of just missing one small segment of ring? Use it maybe like calipers
as a measuring stick for somewhere else in the book.
Yeah,
measure the
measure
Hopi calendar.
specific words, like these words are always this far apart or something.
Huh, interesting.
Now I'm actually thinking of ways that it could be useful.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's on purpose. I don't think it's a clue. I think it's in a holder. But now I do like the
I like the calendars.
I think you guys are crazy that you don't think that this, like, think about if you're doing a full page image of this ring, you're just like gonna make it look like it's not. It makes it look like it's not what it is. Like
I'm agreeing with you that that's a strange choice, especially because he hasn't like set the precedent of all the rings being like that, or even like half of the rings being pictured like that. He like pictures he has complete rings on all the other pictures, and then on this one that's like really prominent and really shown off, that's when he chooses to throw it in a little felt holder.
Yeah.
And like not show, like cut off part of the ring. That seems like a super weird choice, but I think that is what he did.
And do remember that I think not every picture he uses in the book is his own, right? The photographs, he takes some stock images from the Arkenstone, I believe. Not saying that this came from that, but remember that there is the opportunity that he used some stock images or other photographers' images, not his own. It seems unlikely in this case that because he had these in his possession, he probably would have taken his own photographs or hired someone to take the photographs. But anyway, I think there's a chance that this was just a one-off.
Did you take this picture, Bryn? That we're showing on screen?
Yeah.
Okay. If you look really closely, there's a clue where you could see someone's hand in a phone in the reflection.
Okay. If this gets back to Jon Collins-Black, he's gonna be laughing in his little armchair, thinking, "Ha, I tricked these guys with my little Photoshop little fuzzy edges on the end of the ring here."
This is your
guys.
This is your Charizard, Charmander, Charmeleon of the book now.
This is crazy to me.
Each of us dig our heels in somewhere.
This is crazy to me that you guys don't think this is just like if you think about like the tears around the images, I think there's an opportunity for like the negative space to be coming into play somehow here.
If it is on purpose and it is a real clue, look into using it as calipers.
Calipers.
Like that's a good idea.
I like the calipers.
I think it's a good. I think that's what I would use it for if this was something.
Awesome.
It's not in a ring holder.
It is. You can see the felt.
I think it's in a ring holder.
No, because when he cut it out, it was way too obvious that it was just a straight line, and so he added some texture in there.
He used the little spray paint.
You're gonna tell me that's in a ring holder, and there's no definition of like depth in the black background?
Yes.
I may be changing my mind slightly.
Absolutely, you are.
I'll have to look at the digital editions book that I don't have anymore.
You gotta get that old computer booted up.
my last comment and why I'm like have a little bit of doubt in my original take that it is in the holder is because I mean any holder that I can really think of would cut off the bottom of the ring kind of more horizontally, like it would be in a slot.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like
correct.
This would almost have to be like a strip of felt like laid over the bottom and like pulled tight to hold it up.
It doesn't even make sense with physics.
I'll use your term. I mean, it could be a caliper of felt. It's a slot that you put it in. It's a slot that you slide it into.
You can't use my word and just not use it correctly.
No, it's a felt holder of a ring. It's not like it's going around the ring. It's just a slot that you put it into. It's not
that's
crazy.
What I'm saying is it doesn't. Oh, you think it's like a slot that's narrower than the inside diameter of the ring.
Yeah.
Okay, like
exactly. A caliper, yes.
All right,
felt
next
caliper.
Mailbag.
Okay.
I'm done.
So let me just make a comment. Go ahead, Bryn. Mine's an offhand comment. So
I thought this was worthy of an emergency mailbag.
Really?
In our last episode where we weren't doing standard format.
I like the Art Smith brooch a lot more. I'm more excited about that.
Okay.
Sorry. But
right.
I'll just comment that after our heated debate about the Pokemon picture, there are a lot of people, I was surprised, that are on your side, Cody, that don't think those are like people have been posting in the YouTube comments, and someone posted a picture of like how different rocks look like animals and dragons and things from like photography. But
thank you.
Anyway,
thank you to our audience. I appreciate that.
Anyway,
I'm getting ganged up on, and I appreciate the
I'm
support.
still extremely confident that I'm about to win $100 in about 5 years, but
it would be incredibly coincidental.
All right.
If they just happen to look like that. Okay.
Making my blood boil. Can't get it.
Next mailbag. Everyone calm down.
I'm heated.
We all had to take a
Heated
deep
over
breath.
this ring.
People tune in because we're calm. So we have to be calm and friendly.
Compose. Okay, the next one is from Chucky DeMouse. Greetings. What?
It's a good name.
Greetings. I enjoyed your most recent podcast, especially Cody's horseshoes and hand grenades on the past and future box.
Everyone likes Cody's.
Everyone, it's always all Cody.
Jeez.
All right. Continue.
I don't know if this really is relevant to the treasure hunt, and I certainly don't want to take anything away from your great presentation, but I thought I would point out that cryptocurrencies are not actually currency, but classified as I'm still laughing at Blake, I'm sorry. Classified as a digital asset. So the reason I thought this was particularly interesting, and he went on to provide a ton of amazing context about like this historically and like a lot of information with this. But what jumped out to me is the digital assets, because he kind of just threw in that weird line about the NFTs in the past and future box as well. And it never really felt to me like it fit in with everything. It was very kind of throwaway to me.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting connection with the NFTs to digital assets. So wanted to throw that out there. I don't know if you guys have any additional thoughts about that.
Yeah, I'll have to read his additional context to
Yeah.
get some more of that. Because in my mind, I'm not like super well versed in the terminology, but I would think that a currency, if you have a currency, it is an asset, right? Like if I have US dollars, that's an asset that I have. So I think there's some overlap in terminology. But again, I'm not an expert. And I'll have to read that, all the additional context that you're referencing there.
Yeah,
as far as
I should have included more then. But
as far as the NFT thing that you mentioned, I agree that it seems out of place, but I feel like I get where he's coming from, because he wanted to include as much like futuristic stuff as he could. And if you think back to the time when the book was released and the time when he would be authoring the book and writing that chapter, NFTs were like this big up and coming thing. So I see why he was like drawn towards them, and then why it was just kind of awkward, because NFTs were always just kind of awkward in general. So yeah, I agree that it was a weird excerpt in that chapter, but I think I understand why it's there.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Cody. It's actually pretty impressive. I think that the book itself seems pretty timeless, and that he doesn't really fall into fads. I mean, we could imagine Pokemon kind of being a fad, right? And he has a Pokemon box, but that has withstood the test of time, seemingly, at least for 25 years ish. But yeah, NFT is kind of where he stumbled, and it was like so big and has really faded out of popularity. But I can't think of other examples anywhere else in the book where he kind of fell into that trap, I would say. But I agree that it's kind of a sign of the year that he was writing that chapter.
And I get why that would have been a challenge to do something timeless, but the theme is something futuristic.
That's like, a good point. Yeah.
It's hard to know what is going to be timeless in the future.
Yeah.
all right. I will be sure to flag the email for you guys so you can get the additional information on digital currency versus digital asset.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, the next one is from Amy. This is about the Pokemon box. She said, random Pokemon thought at 4 a.m. My kind of person.
Yes. Kindred spirits.
Yeah, I think I might have found my Pokemon box partner. Excursion and trek have two different meanings. If you put in their definitions in the original sentence, our excursion would be circular. We'd head southwest through New Orleans and then make our trek back past the Ozarks. It reads completely different than what my mind was thinking. Our short, leisure, one-day trip would be circular. We'd head southwest through New Orleans and make our long, difficult journey, usually on foot, back past the Ozarks. Any thoughts?
Can you read that again? So she substituted the definitions of excursion and trek into that sentence.
Yeah, so basically, I'll read it again, but basically, like, an excursion is generally viewed as like leisurely and relaxing versus trek being difficult and taxing.
Okay.
So our short leisure one-day trip will be circular. We'd head southwest through New Orleans and then make our long, difficult journey, usually on foot, back past the Ozarks. But so the main point being, like, why is he contrasting excursion versus trek?
Yeah.
And I will say, giving this thought, I probably made my single most progress in like an evening of treasure hunting that I've made so far. In my opinion, I mean, who knows if it's right or not, but I really enjoyed this as a prompt to think about why he chose those two particular words. I think I told her, like, maybe he just got thesaurus happy. I don't think that is what's happening here. I think he's being very intentional with words on every single chapter. So I don't think he would necessarily be like misusing one. I get that you could say excursion and trek are kind of synonyms to each other. But I think there is more to these words, and I think there's a lot more to a lot of the words that he's chosen within, at least what I think, within the Pokemon box.
Yeah,
so
we had talked about, I don't know if we talked about on the podcast, but that he uses the word entomology to talk about the Pokemon battles and Dr. Bug. And that is very close to etymology, which is the definition of words. So I like that connection a lot, and diving into a lot of these word meanings, I think, is very important.
Yeah. So I think for me, taking like that entomology route, wait, now which one am I saying? Etymology.
Etymology.
Into like the origins of words has been very fruitful, especially when you think of kind of the inspiration drawn from certain things in the chapter as well. So who knows if that's the right route to be taking, but I would highly recommend, if you're feeling stuck with something or think some of the words are weird, definitely check that out.
Nice. Very good. Very good. You have one more mailbag?
I have one more mailbag. This is from Pilgrim's Progress. This is speaking to page 59. So this is in the Artsmith chapter, the page adjacent to the brooch that we originally talked about. Okay, so this talks about some like gaming connections on page 59. He said, our youngest, who is now 17, was super saturated into Pokemon at one time and is more into Dungeons and Dragons now. He asked how the hunt is going, and I read some of what I called forced or suggestive statements from page 59. So here are those lines. Rolled their eyes. I told him it sounds like snake eyes from rolling dice, and he agreed. He then noted wagging their fingers and said it's suggestive from a Pokemon move known as the metronome because of finger wags. With JCB's music background and revisited works like Reverberates, this makes sense. Then he said, my son also noted the last 1 to 2 sentences in that paragraph, like they were forced, the way they were like okay, as if to make the way force the word malice. He said malice is a frequent quality / attribute in a dice rolling fantasy game. Lastly, as we read on, we both noticed the mid-page statement, Art Smith became one of only 6 Black students enrolled in the school's art program. We both agreed that 1 of 6 enrolled seemed more informative than needed for conveying the path his future took. This suggests something related to dice roll. Wow, I butchered that email. I apologize. But basically what we're getting at here is like on page 59, there's some like dice roll theme throughout that page. So I'm not expanded on that at all, really dove into anything else beyond it. But I thought that was a really cool connection to make. I wanted to throw it out there.
Friends of his family rolled their eyes. They wagged their fingers at him and told Art he would starve to death before this ever happened. Yeah, that's a great point. It is a little bit forced. Is it a genreism? Not quite, but it's... Why would they wag their fingers at him? Huh. I'm going to read this more closely. I love that. Love that connection.
And I never would have picked up on malice as a dice rolling fantasy game word. I mean, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, so.
Okay, very cool. I will investigate further and see if I agree. But that is an excellent nugget that he's pointed out there.
Yeah, I thought it was excellent. Most excellent.
Very
Thank
excellent.
you to Pilgrim's Progress and your 17-year-old.
Cool. Great mailbags today.
Those are all my mailbags for today.
Excellent mailbags.
All right. Should we dive into the Discord detectives? All right. The first Discord detectives actually comes from YouTube comments, not on our video, but on a video from One Clue Short of a Treasure. They did a Hopi Calendar episode a week or two back. That was pretty interesting. They're talking about the underlines of the words or the underlines of the letters in the Hopi Calendar. And there was a comment from, I'm a big Skinnerd fan. And he said, I just did a Hopi translation and Trey now, so you know the letters in the Hopi Calendar that are underlined or overlined, TRE space NAL means 3 trees. What do you guys think of that?
I love it.
So I will say that when we first were looking into the underlines and overlines of the letters many months ago, I did use a Hopi translator to try like every combination of those letters in different words and did not come up with anything. But it's and so the timing of this I think is important, because when I was doing the Hopi translation, I could only find one translator online. And now it seems like there are more available than when I first did my search. That would be worth some validation going back to see, because if JCB is expecting that to be something we figure out, then the resource would have had to been available when he was writing the book, I think, even not even post-release, because he wouldn't have known the future. But I did do a little bit of attempted validation using a couple tools. So the first one here was from a website called Polytranslator. And when I put in Trey now, it translated into 3 stars, not necessarily 3 trees. So I'd be interested to see where I'm a big Skinnerd fan got that translation from, because I can't quite agree with it other than the 3.
I would be more excited about 3 stars even.
I like that even more, but that's just a little bit of confirmation bias, I suppose. And then there's this other one that also said 3 stars. So then I translated it back. It was a little offensive because it just says, you put your normal language word here.
Yikes.
This is an AI one. And if you try to back translate 3 stars, it translates into something much more different than Trey now. So
yeah, I don't know about that. I think if that was accurate, it would take Hopi people all day to have a normal conversation. Every word's 20 letters long.
Anyway, so I'm pretty suspect of that comment. One, because I could not reproduce the 3 trees part of it. Two, because I didn't have these same translators available like at the beginning of the year when we were looking at this. So I don't know if it has to be that difficult, especially if all we need is in the book. A single translation from a commonly available online tool I would buy into. I just don't quite know if I agree that these tools were available when Jon Collins-Black was writing the book. So anyway, I think there's more research to be done in terms of finding something more standard in terms of a dictionary that we could use to see if Trey now translates according to something in paper, like at the library, or talking to somebody that speaks Hopi. That might be worth trying to dive into a bit more. So anyway, happy to hear more comments on this and what you guys think about it.
I think what I think what I'm struggling with most with any approach I've seen so far, whether that be the anagram or translating, is it's not taking in the over and under into account.
Yes,
like,
great
why are
point.
some of those lines over and under? Like that just has to be kind of like fundamental to what the letters mean, in my opinion. So I think I need that to be explained before I can really get too on board.
That's a great
any solution.
Great
and
point.
I don't have that answer yet. So yeah, that one's tricky.
Cody.
I love it if verified. It feels like one of like the top main real solutions if it's something that can be verified, whether that be 3 trees or 3 stars, or those letters translating verifiably into anything in Hopi. That's something that I'm definitely going to look into because I'm really excited about that, actually.
Okay, great.
But yeah, I'd want it to be very, very verified. I think I'm already kind of brainstorming as I'm speaking ways of maybe verifying it. So I want to take that on for sure. My other concerns, I would say in response to Bren, I'm not all that worked up about the overlines versus underlines because in my mind, that was just something that I think that may have been something that he just did to kind of better hide those lines because he didn't want him to immediately jump out at you. I think it was kind of something you wanted you to discover after looking for a while. And that was just kind of a way of mixing it up a little bit more in my mind. Definitely could mean something more than that, but I don't feel like it has to, and I would feel like unsatisfied if it didn't mean any more personally. And then my only other concern is, and this is just a concern I have, I'm not sure if it's a valid concern or not because I don't know enough about the Hopi language, but I know that they had like lots of different tribes, and I'm kind of worried that it's the kind of thing where everyone spoke just like a slightly different language all the time, and there was never any universal like this means this for sure. So I think that could be a potential stumbling block. Hopefully it was like a language that is well defined enough to know this means this, and not like this means this to this person in this region at this time, but meant something different to this person in this region at this time, kind of thing.
Yeah, that could be extremely challenging to deconvolute. That's a great point also. Nice. Okay. All right. So we'll see what Cody comes up with. Thank you, Cody.
Can one of you remind me with the Katsinas, like the 2 seasons, was there something there where like the Katsinas were supposed to be underground during the non-Katsina season and then be above ground during the Katsina season, or am I making that up?
They lived on a mountain, I think. There's definitely underground and overground.
There was something underground when I mean, this is months ago I was doing this research.
They had those, I can't remember what they're called, but like special dwelling areas for certain things that were like partially underground.
The Kiva. Yeah.
Kivas, and then they're like deities or whatever their word was for deity Katsina things. I believe lived on that. The San Francisco Peaks, right? That was the special mountain that they lived on. So there's definitely are elements of like above and below that were referenced, I think, even in the book.
Yeah, I guess I just feel like the above and below is going to have something to do with like what we're supposed to be taking from the calendar overall as well. So yeah, I won't keep talking about things I don't know, but I'm
That's a
very
really
much
good
in the
point.
camp. I'm very much in the camp of the over and under being important.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I do like Cody's explanation that it was just as one more step in trying to obscure that hint. But
yeah,
I could buy that too, but I'm more in the camp of the importance of that potentially.
I'd be more on board to be into the importance of it if there were more letters. But it also just feels like we're only working with six letters.
Yeah. N-A and R-L-E-T are the two groups of letters. So anyway.
That should have been a quiz question right there.
That would have been a great quiz question. All right. Second Discord Detectives is from my favorite, Matthew Hobbies. So he just posted a new video over the weekend talking about actually the AI generated picture from chapter 4, the Chivor Emerald Mine expedition, where they have the picture of kind of some explorer looking people walking through the jungle. He did a pretty good analysis. Obviously, we'll post the link to that down below that you can hear the full story. I'm not going to steal that away from him, but I do want to show a couple pictures from his video. So he seemed to have found, his conclusion was that most of this image was AI generated, and then he thinks that Jon Collins-Black went in and added some of this texture around the outside. And the reason he thinks that is because there is some similar patterns that you can find throughout the image that look like they were used as some sort of stamp, almost, maybe a stamp in Photoshop, that have this particular shape that I'm pointing out here, Cody and Bryn. Mm-hmm. You could see the one that zoomed in. There's kind of a little V shape, and he finds that particular pattern throughout the images. And
each of these yellow boxes is highlighting an instance of that same pattern.
Exactly. So that's why he comes to the conclusion that this seemed to be some sort of stamp that, or sponge, as he called it, that maybe JCB added around the outside of the picture. So the even more interesting thing about that, and I liked his conclusion that AI wouldn't necessarily use a pattern to make that. It would be more random, I think, than something that's used over and over again, which I agree with. The interesting thing is when you look at the wing shape of the butterfly from our Unbreakable Thread, that same pattern is found in one side of the wing shape. This is the best instance that you can see this overlaid.
Yeah, definitely very here. Similar.
It is. So is that the weirdest coincidence? Or what?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's not 100%, but it is very close.
So he does a good job with doing a little bit of contrast here on the left to show you how closely that overlays or not. But
and these are obviously not scaled the same either, right?
That's correct. Yeah. Well, that's a good question. I actually don't know. They might be similar. I don't know. That'd be a good question. We can ask Matt.
You better believe I immediately pulled up my image rip catalog to see if it matched. I didn't find, at least in my key shapes of the image rips, I didn't find one that matched this.
That's a great idea. But no hits, because that would be kind of a confirmer in my opinion, right? That if that pattern was important for some reason.
Yeah, and I didn't look through them all. There was one in particular, I think maybe that matches up with that shape, and I just checked that one, and it wasn't a match. But I did not go through all of them.
Yeah, quite a few episodes back when we talked about our Unbreakable Thread, the follow-up episode of the live episode, Matt had sent in a picture of Minnesota, right? That kind of also fits that same pattern when we're thinking about the potential Minnesota connection, but that one is even a little bit more off, I would say, but also I like the connection. But anyway, check out Matthew Hobby's video for the full spiel on that. He goes into a bit more detail and shows different examples and very informative. So check the links below. Crazy.
Yeah,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's crazy that he doesn't have more subscribers than he does. I guess, I don't know. I really like his content and his approach, but maybe people don't. I don't know why, but I want to know what he thinks about the Charizard. Ooh. Okay, sorry, Cody, I interrupted.
No, I was just gonna say I really like the idea. I really like how meticulous he was with it.
Mm-hmm.
I have some trouble buying into any of the match up somewhat abstract shapes unless they're just like 100% spot on. Because it definitely seems like if that's something that JCB wanted us to find and make that connection, it's already so well hidden that there's not really that need for it to be like, oh, it's 95% matching. It's like he may as well at that point have used some template and made it like 100% matching.
Yeah.
Seems like that would be appropriate when they're that far removed from each other. So
agree.
It's one of those things where I really like I like the thought behind it. I like the approach. I just can't really buy into. I can't buy into these, especially the abstract shapes when it's not like something like really crisp and clear that they just don't match up perfect.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good point.
Bryn, you had a follow-on bonus mailbag.
Yeah, so we got a mailbag from Alex. It was in response to this Matthew Hobby's video. He said, please check out Matthew Hobby's latest video. He identified a very interesting repeating pattern on the butterfly and TTI image. For me, the shocking revelation, which he did not mention, is the non-symmetric design of the butterfly in the JCB children's book. The left side of the butterfly has 2 indentations, and indentations on the wing, and the right side has only 1 indentation. So we can pull up the butterfly here.
Okay, so he's saying that on the left side, there's a kind of extra indent on the top wing compared to the right where that doesn't exist.
Yeah, so I can't remember if we talked about this originally, but this felt like news to me. And I guess when you think about that shape that Matthew Hobbies was looking into on the right wing, it makes it feel more intentional to me that the left wing then isn't the same. So much so that, like, even if this was just kind of a rough butterfly that was being illustrated, we can assume by Jon Collins-Black, like, why would you... It just feels like it had to have been so intentional to make those wings different.
Yeah, and I mean, unless he generated it with AI and said, make a purple butterfly with a watercolored like motif, and the AI introduced that variability. But I feel like AI, maybe it's worth some testing on a couple tools. We know, we think he used Midjourney, and we think he used Stable Diffusion, so we could ask it, try to make something and see if it comes up with something more symmetrical or not. But maybe I'm going
I'd be
down
kind of
the wrong
surprised
path.
if it was AI,
Okay.
Mostly just because of the simplicity of it. It just seems very much like, it seems like he used the AI to create drawings that maybe he wasn't like artistically comfortable creating himself, like a lot of kind of more significant ones, and then touched it up by hand.
Yeah.
So the idea of him touching it up by hand instead of just like trying to get AI to make it makes me think that he wants kind of the control over it. It was just more a product of like not being an illustrator by trade. So when it comes to like a butterfly, I would think that this would be something he'd just freehand it.
Sure. But I just don't know how you'd get that texture, because it does look like a watercolor on watercolor paper.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he just literally did some watercolors. It's hard to say.
Maybe. But look at this, Bryn. What does that remind you of? 2 peaks?
exactly where the moon is going to be coming up over those mountains. Yeah, I need to get my rip outlines again. Now that I'm looking back at these, I'm like, there's something there.
Cool. Excellent. All right. Let us wrap up with coincidence of the day. If I can find it. And you have a coincidence of the day to report.
Yes, I recently saw a commercial for ChatGPT, and it was something along the lines of like, ChatGPT helped me create an itinerary for my road trip through the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Ooh.
So I thought that was kind of Jon Collins-Blackish, merging his childhood and his Pokemon road trip potentially.
Very nice. True coincidence of the day.
Yes.
All right. I think that's the episode. Any parting thoughts, or should we log off? Logging off. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.